Good morning, everyone. My name is Robert. I'm in charge of sales technical at Hudaco. So I'll just do a brief introduction of Hudaco, who we are. Then I'll hand over to George, who will be taking us through the Axis webinar. Now, Hudaco, we are added value distributors, and we are based in our HQ is based in South Africa. We have 17 years in industry knowledge. We sell through the East Africa region, and we do various things. Also, we do online trainings, which like the ones that we are hosting right now on our webinar. And we have different platforms where you can be able to find us. We have our LinkedIn web page whereby we subscribe, and also we have our YouTube channel whereby you can follow the webinars which have been hosted for your referrals and everything. And to take you through why Hudaco, why you should use Hudaco as your distributor. We have, as I said, we are value added distributors, and we are experts in different platforms. We sell we deal with surveillance, whereby we have different surveillance platforms, Axis, Uniview. We sell access controls. We deal with DSC for intrusion. We also deal with fire systems. Also, we have different brands, Cambium, Grant, Ubiquity, and also Unify, and also we have different systems whereby we have for VOP like GrandStream. Also, we have internal support, whereby we have our own technical support, whereby if you have been stuck or you are unable to resolve something on site, we have a technical team whereby we involve them to support you and get you through the solution completion. For financials, the hardware finance option you have been waiting for, the finance hardware with us for the past is to our end users. We do stock. We do stock, and we maintain our stock, and it's a one-shop stop whereby you can get a whole solution. And for more trainings and everything, please, you as our SIs, we ask you to engage with us. We can arrange one-on-one trainings for specific products which you will be wanting to be trained on, and we can arrange that with our manufacturers. So that is Hudaco, and we encourage you. Also, you can visit us, for we have our experience center where you can be able to demo and get full experience of the solutions that you are looking for. So for now, I'll hand over back to George, who will take us through the webinar. Thanks a lot. That's why George is sharing his screen, and
Okay, thanks, Robert. Just sharing my screen, and I hope everyone is able to see it. Okay, so welcome to this webinar on the Axis Radar device, specifically the new D2110-VE radar. So this is a reliable area detection, and I'm going to take you through the benefits of using radar, how it comes to play, and how it plugs into a surveillance solution. Okay. So just the term radar was originally an acronym for more descriptive radio detection and ranging. Today, it is a well-established technology used in many different areas. Radar waves can be used to detect objects in motion and determine how far away they are, and also their velocity or speed. Static objects will not be visible. The radar technology that Axis Radar uses is called FMCW, Frequency Modulated Continuous Wave. These are radars that are non-rotating, and they just emit continuous radio waves in the license-free 24 gigahertz RF band. The waves are frequency modulated and phase shifted. The transmission power is 100 megawatts, which is actually harmless radiation. So the radiation is not harmful. The radar technology borrows from nature. Now, bats use echolocation to navigate very quickly and find food in the dark. To echolocate, the bats send out waves from their mouth or nose. When the sound waves hit an object, they produce echoes. And the echo bounces off the object and returns to the bat's ears. The sound wave, and that is the same concept that the Axis radar uses. So Axis radars are similar to bats in terms of how they navigate normally in the dark. The radar technology, like I mentioned before, they are non-rotating, and they just emit continuous radio waves in the 24 gigahertz RF band. Okay. So actually, how it works is quite simple and straightforward. We look at when a radar device transmits signals, it sends out and waits for a bounce back message. Or when it hits an object, it reflects back to the device. Okay, so like I said, the radar signal hits a moving object in the scene, which is then reflected back to the radar device, and then the radar device or the radar receiver detects the reflected signal, which provides info like the coordinates or the location of the object, the size of the object, the speed of the object, and direction. Okay. Then now to add on to that is we integrate the information that the radar device receives. The data that the radar receives can be linked to a PTZ and activates it to spin and track the object. So if a radar is doubled up with a PTZ, you get a robust and unmatched solution. In addition to that, it can also integrate with a Axis audio horn speaker that can be used as a deterrent or used to trigger audible alerts. So when the radar is integrated with a PTZ, first you have detection. The PTZ is there for verification, and the horn speaker is there also to trigger audible alerts. And or the guys at the control room or whoever has access to the audio speaker can speak into the to the area and ward off the deterring. Okay. Then just the benefits of the radar is that when in large areas, it covers a wide area. Okay, thanks to its wide horizontal field of detection, the axis radar can monitor very large areas. We're talking about 180 degrees and 60 meters for persons or human beings, and 85 meters for vehicles. Okay, and then also the weather. Unlike visual cameras, radar is much less affected by weather and light conditions. For instance, the radar's performance will not be affected by direct sunlight, and that's why it's suitable for detection both night and day. False alarms also are a key factor when it comes to surveillance, and the advantage of using radar as part of the surveillance solution is, compared to a visual camera, it has very, very low false alarm rates, resulting in a cost-efficient operation with security personnel focusing on real threats. For instance, the security radar does not react to insects or light reflections or fog, mist, and thus has a very low false alarm rates even for the small animals and rain that just trigger false alarms. Remember, radars do not also trigger on movements such as light beams, like I mentioned. And this saves you costs. The cost for radar installation is also relatively low compared to a camera installation for the same coverage area. Not only in terms of the required hardware, but also for all other things that are needed, such as licenses for analytics, cabling, and the like, if you have to install or set up poles and mounts to put up cameras. Okay. And then just the simplicity, the radars they're very easy to set up, just as network cameras, because these are PoE radars. They're powered by the switch, a PoE switch, and they can also be set up as standalone surveillance devices, as well as supporting devices to enhance surveillance capabilities of an existing camera installation. Now, just to mention is that our radar has an extra port inbuilt for PoE out. So one cable into the radar, and the radar can also power a camera. So installation costs are also reduced when it comes to setting up such a solution. And then there's also increased classification. There is deep learning specifically helped to improve the detection accuracy of human beings as an object class. The class of human beings is usually difficult to accurately classify, just simply due to its smaller size and greater change in reflectivity. What I mean is that a human being from the front is different from a human. The size of a human being from the front is different from the size of a human being from the side. There's almost 50% difference when it comes to reflectivity. Okay. Then the other advantage, like I mentioned earlier, radar technology compared to a visual camera with detection is the false alarm rate, resulting in a cost-efficient operation. With security personnel focusing on real threats. Like I mentioned, it does not. It's not affected by insects or light or fog or rain, and has a very very low false alarm rate. With 180 degrees horizontal coverage, the axis security radar enables wide area protection. So it can, like I mentioned, it can detect people up to 60 meters. That's about 200 feet, and vehicles up to 85 meters. And the good thing is that it can coexist. It has a smart coexistence functionality, allowing the use of multiple radars close to each other. So it's since one radar has 180 degrees coverage, it can be mounted back to back, and then you have a 360-degree coverage, allowing you to detect vehicles in over, 22,000 square meters. Okay. This is a very secure and robust system because it features the new generation Axis chip. It's called the ActPEC 7, which uh, which is packed with advanced security functionality to prevent unauthorized access and also safeguard your system. So when it comes to cybersecurity, which is very key, especially now, we have signed firmware that ensures that only authorized firmware is installed and guaranteed that it hasn't been compromised. So even before boot up, when the radar starts up, it has to check that there's no bugs injected into it. And it is actually the original firmware. So it has to start up with signed firmware. Then the radar is also vandal resistant with an IKO8 rating, and it's also suitable for outdoor use with IP66 rating. Okay, also it operates within the temperatures of -40 to +60 degrees, which takes care of all the extreme temperature ranges, especially in our region. And then for added peace of mind, there's the shock and casing open detection, so it can be informed in cases any attempt to tamper with the radar. This smart device features PoE out, like I mentioned earlier, for powering another device such as a camera for visual verification or a network horn speaker for audio deterrence. That reduces cabling costs. For instance, you can connect to the Axis P3807 on the top right, which is at 180-degree visibility coverage for this camera. Then the Axis D2110 radar also offers an intuitive user interface, which with a crop and rotate map functionality for easy configuration. This security radar is also very easy to integrate with other third-party video management software systems. The smart possibilities are practically endless. The good thing that I also want to mention in the radar is that you can overlay a map or a photo of where the area or the region it covers. So you can also have a visual representation of how far the radar can detect on a map. Okay. Then there's many use cases, and the radar fits into so many different areas. For example, in industry or in retail, there's the intrusion detection with either fixed cameras or PTZ with auto tracking. It's also possible together with a home speaker and lights for deterrence. In substations also for detection and safety to prevent terrorism. And it also is often combined with a thermal camera, and Axis Perimeter Defender, PTZ, and home speaker. So you can see that this radar is very useful as a detection device. Also in parking lots, which is also very crucial. Protecting assets commonly used with fixed cameras for verification and also horn speakers as a deterrent. In huge parking spaces, one radar can be able to take care of an entire parking area without the need to have several cameras and mounting options in there. Even in swimming pools and in areas where there is, reasons for privacy, the radar can be used to detect if there's movement, especially at night or unwanted hours, you know. And also the good thing is that it can be used to give you speed information in low speed areas, prevent accidents and damage, you know, detect vehicles exceeding the speed limit in specific areas. And it can also be combined with an LPR camera to detect that. So this is a very robust device that can be placed in several different scenarios. Just using our radar, the D2110-VE, and its PoE out, you can mount it. Like I said, it can be used to power a horn speaker or a camera, and it can be used to be, it can be configured with, the horn speaker can be configured with pre-recorded messages, or, you know, live upon alarm, or also possible to add a light source, you know. The PTZ is there, of course, for auto tracking. And so the PTZ automatically auto tracks the moving object, whether it's a person or a vehicle, for verification. Okay. So just to summarize, you know, using the radar technology compared to using a visual camera only, the false alarm rate will go down due to the possibility, you know, to filter out insects, and the fact that it doesn't need or is not affected by light, by rain, by fog. You know. This also has 180-degree horizontal coverage, giving a very powerful area protection. And the radar can also can act as a standalone device, you know, but it's perfect when it's included in a video surveillance solution, or also when maybe surveillance might not be allowed, or when there's need for protecting people's privacy. But it can also be used to complete your video surveillance system, since it uses different technology for detection, right? So I think with that, I'd just like to say thank you. I would like to take in a few questions if there are. Are there any questions, any queries? But feel free to reach out to me or to us, either Hudaco or Axis, and we'll be keen to get more information from you. All right. Yes, Edwin asks, can this radar form part of the Axis perimeter defender solution? Absolutely. It is very well placed as part of the Axis perimeter. So the integration is seamless, and it can actually be part of a device that, you know, aids detection. So it plays very well in its space for detection. So this can actually form part of the Axis perimeter defender solution. Thanks, Edwin. Any other question? So feel free to reach out to me or Robert from Hudaco, or any person from the Hudaco or Axis team. And I just want to say thank you once again. Have a great afternoon, and see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, George. I will appreciate everybody who are logged in. For any reference for this webinar. If you want to go back, check what was discussed, you can always visit our YouTube, and we'll upload the video on our YouTube channel. So for all the participants, again, and we look for your questions or any queries to us as we arrange for more webinars. So thanks a lot and have a lively day.